It's not easy carrying the weight of your father's name around, especially if your father was a decorated footballer and you've chosen to go into that same path in your own hometown at your father's former club. That's the path that Eli Kroupi Jr. has taken, and yet he is well on his way to making his own name for himself and possibly exceeding his father's accomplishments. But who is this budding Ligue 2 star that is catching the eyes of some of the biggest clubs in Europe? To answer that question, we've got to ask ourselves, who is Eli Kroupi Jr.? At just 18 years old, Eli Kroupi Jr. is rapidly emerging as one of the most exciting young talents in French football. With a unique blend of physical attributes, technical skills, and tactical intelligence, Kroupi appears to be set to take the next step in his promising career. But what makes him so special as a player? We're going to dive into that here in a second, but before we do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me down below so you can follow the channel and see all of our Soccer Wonder Kids videos that we're putting out. You can get down in that comment section. Let me know what you think about Kroupi. Is he a guy you'd like for your club over the next year or so? Get down in that comment section. Let me know what you think. You can also leave comments on Twitter at PitchsidePub and check out our website, pitchsidepub.com. Let's dive into what makes Eli Kroupi Jr. such a promising young talent. Eli Kroupi Jr. was born in Lorient, France, while his father played for the club. Now, his father would go on to play for 8 different clubs, but Kroupi Jr. has never left home. Eli Jr. joined Lorient's academy in 2013 at the age of 7, just a year after his father won a Coupe de France for the first team, and he immediately started showing signs of being a talented attacking player. His development was nothing short of impressive, quickly climbing through the ranks and showing off the skills that are now garnering him attention today. He made his debut for Lorient's second team during the 21-22 season. He then signed his first professional contract that following summer and made his debut for Lorient's first team in Ligue 1 during the 22-23 season, which made him the youngest player to ever appear in Lorient's long history. He didn't become a regular with the first team until last season, when he earned 30 Ligue 1 appearances in various attacking positions for a struggling Lorient squad that was eventually relegated. Though his 5 goals and 3 assists in just over 1,000 minutes of play was surely a bright spot in an otherwise disappointing campaign for the club. Now, despite the poor season from Lorient that got them relegated, Kroupi Jr. did stand out and he got a lot of attention from other clubs this summer, but he elected to stay in Lorient, probably in part because it's all he's ever known and it is his home, but also to ensure his playing time and further his development, and it's turned out to be a good move. He has appeared in all 7 of Lorient's Ligue 2 games to date, and he's made 4 starts, scoring 3 goals and recording an assist. Now, if this sort of play continues throughout the season, Lorient could end up with a promotion back to Ligue 1, but he's also going to continue to get more and more interest from clubs throughout Europe. So what makes Kroupi Jr. so good and so intriguing to all these other clubs? Well, we can really overcomplicate this sometimes, but to make it as simple as possible, Eli Kroupi Jr. is just better at kicking a football than most of his contemporary counterparts, even by professional footballing standards. More specifically, Kroupi is renowned for his ball striking and finishing, skills that are sometimes overlooked in favor of more complicated technical abilities. No matter how much we break down all the technical nuance and intricacies that go into the modern game, sometimes just being able to strike the ball more consistently and with more power and more control than anybody else on the pitch really makes you stand out. Kroupi's ball striking is accentuated by his versatility and positioning. Kroupi is better than most of his peers at finding open space or at creating it for himself. His natural instincts allow him to find gaps in the defense when he does not have the ball, and his constant movement with a purpose make him an able receiver of passes from teammates. But he's dynamic with the ball at his feet as well, displaying strong control and the ability to maintain possession in tight spaces. At just 5 feet 10 inches, he's an undersized attacker, but his short, choppy steps give him a burst of acceleration that allow him to generate space even from the tightest of defenders. He's also adept at dropping deeper into hold-up play thanks to his balance and strength, and he's excellent at bringing teammates into play in build-up situations. Now, given that he's just 18 and playing in his second division, we know that there are areas of Kroupi's game that need continued development. For example, his first step quickness and acceleration make him good in tight spaces, but his top end speed is not at an elite level, limiting his effectiveness on through balls from teammates who want to play in a more direct style. Additionally, he is very right-footed. His weaker left foot is not utilized nearly to the extent that his right foot is, and that makes him more predictable to defenders. As he goes up to higher levels of competition, he will need to be more versatile and mix up his repertoire, so he will need to continue to work on the development of his left foot. Now, Kroupi is versatile enough as a player to feature anywhere on an attacking front line, but he features primarily as a striker or second striker, and sometimes out on the left wing, though his left foot, being weak, limits his ability as a crosser, and he has to be more of an inverted left winger that comes in off the right foot. Kroupi has yet to find a permanent home and actually may never be pinned to one spot because regardless of his position, he operates best when he's given the freedom to roam. He uses his instincts to find space in the defense, which includes dropping deeper in link play and initiating attacks rather than being up top as a traditional target man. On the Athletics 18 players role chart, Kroupi would be classified as a roamer-style central attacker who thrives with the freedom to drift and instinctively find spaces. This makes him unpredictable and difficult to mark, giving him the edge over more stationary forwards. Now, if Kroupi's being used in a formation as a single striker, it would be best to pair him with wingers who like to make aggressive runs in the box, and it would help to give him a number 10 behind him who is not afraid to fire off a shot of his own. But where Kroupi can really shine is in a two-striker formation as the second striker, especially when paired with a bigger, more traditional number 9 who can act as the target man. Together, they could create one of those classic little man, big man striker combos, and that's where his versatility, positioning, and ability to find spaces could really be dynamic. Kroupi's performances last year in Ligue 1, even in limited playing time, drew a lot of attention this summer, with Lille, Reims, and Sevilla all making offers to Lorient. Kroupi opted to remain at Lorient, a decision that allows him to secure more regular playing time and further develop his game before making a potential move to a bigger club. Lorient's future in Ligue 2 is going to significantly impact his long-term prospects, however. If Lorient fails to secure a promotion next season, it's almost impossible they'll be able to hold on to Kroupi, especially with interest from clubs in France, Italy, and Spain likely to intensify. Even if Lorient does manage to get promoted back to Ligue 1, it may be unlikely that they're able to hold on to Kroupi's services. Now, the fact that he is from their academy and it is his hometown and it's the only club he's ever played in may be enough to get them another year, but he's certainly not going to stay in Ligue 2, and even if they're promoted, he's going to get a lot of attention from a lot of other clubs. They're going to have to fend off big offers, and he's going to have to turn down really big opportunities, not just in France, but in Italy, Germany, Spain, and possibly even the Premier League. Either way, if he plays a big role in Lorient getting promoted back to Ligue 1, as we've already seen him start to do this season, he is going to continue to develop into one of the most coveted forwards, not just in France, but throughout Europe. But I'd love to get your thoughts. Do you want to see Eli Kroupi Jr. at your club? Get in that comment section. Let me know your thoughts. You can also leave comments on Twitter at PitchsidePub. While you're at it, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me down below so you can follow the channel and check out our website, pitchsidepub.com. Thanks as always for joining us here on Soccer Wonder Kids at the Pitchside Pub.